What? What? No? I need about 45 minutes and then the dinner will be just about ready, but I'm going live right now. So I need you guys to be quiet, okay? Watch some TV, but I only need 45 minutes and then we're good. Thank you. What is up, fam? You guys thought there was some buffering going on in there, didn't you? I knew you did. I got you. Now, actually, I'm just a little slow on the trigger nowadays. What is up, everybody? Let me know if somebody comes on, because I put out the warning. I know tonight's Friday. It's Rampage night, so I'm going to try and wrap this up within 1 hour's period of time. Tops. I'm also house sitting my brother and his ladies for their 5 children. So, you know, they got me locked in the closet right now. I figure I better do some streaming while I can. What is up, guys? Everybody, if you would, share this broadcast out. If you are on the YouTube side and you don't subscribe, please subscribe and like, because the more you like, the more people see this shit. It's the only way I'm going to get more subscribers. It ain't just sharing. Sharing's cool, but if you hit the like, it goes on more timelines. So anyway, I'm going to share this out right now through the old shitty Periscope to Tweeter. What is up, TJ? What's up, Annie? I got a video. I just dropped it on YouTube, but I said, you know, fuck it. Why don't I just drop it live on Periscope as well? That's where most of the folks that follow me get notifications from me. So I'm going to do that. It's on YouTube if you want to watch that version. But I'm also streaming live to YouTube. Streaming live. I haven't had anything to drink, I swear it. What's up, Annie? John Lipa. Give us the business. Yeah. I got some business. I put together a little video. It took me a lot longer to do it than I wanted to. I stole from a lot of people, but I tried to give credit where credit's due. Like at the very beginning, you're going to recognize the Meme Queen's work right off the top, and a lot of stuff, you know, me and her on the same page on the stuff that I like to put out there, and she finds it, encapsulates it, and I steal it. So is it stealing if I tell you I'm stealing it while I'm stealing it? I don't know. It's all good. Kisses to TJ MAGA. If you guys don't know, go over to @TJ MAGA1. She is an MAGACO OG. And also a meme fucking goddess. And now a film trailer goddess. There's so many possibilities there. So many possibilities there. I don't have a lot of crazy stuff and funny blah blahs for you today. I really don't. I wanted to show you this video and then look at a few of the non-highlights of the boring day that was today. I mean, good God, guys. The hearsay, I just love it when they get very succinct in the fact that you've never talked to the president, Mick Mulvaney, anyone that actually is legitimate. Oh, okay, cool. And it's funny, you hear the Democrats, well, they want first-hand people. They want Mulvaney. Well, we all know that that's not even a possibility. And why would the president subject any of his people to the sham, the fucking sham that is these impeachment inquiry hearings? It's like Matt Gaetz says, it's impeachment light. There's no impeachment there. And I tell you, after Wednesday, I guarantee you a ton of people started to think, fuck, Adam nailed this shit again. We get all our info from Gingrich_of_PA. Adam Gingrich. For 3 years, he's kept us on the right fucking track with common sense and no fucking gaslighting and 20 years of political experience under his belt. Guys, he said it forever. Forever. There's not going to be any impeachment articles sent to the Senate. There's not going to be. If they do, they're dungy. Toast. There's going to be a serious censure or maybe a strongly worded letter, just like Senator Grassley does. So anyway, I'm going to get right to my video. And let's see, I was going to do it through YouTube, but I'm not going to. I'm going to do it just straight from the computer. That way you probably get a much better experience, okay? Let's see, DVD player. And go. Excuse the rough editing.
We've been living through this so-called insurance policy because they know we're putting a stop to their pillaging and their plundering and their hoaxes. The radical Democrats' policies are crazy, their politicians are corrupt, their candidates are terrible, and they know they can't win on election day, so they're pursuing an illegal, invalid, and unconstitutional bullshit impeachment. They're scammers and con artists, perpetrating hoaxes and witch hunts. But it's called a witch hunt, the story of the greatest mass delusion in American political history. That's what it is. This is one of the great con jobs ever. We must never let it happen to another president. This should never be allowed to happen again.
Do you anticipate when we might vote on the ability to have the whistleblower in front of us, something you, of the 435 members of Congress, you are the only member who knows who that individual is, and your staff is the only staff of any member of Congress who's had a chance to talk with that individual. We would like that opportunity. When might that happen in this proceeding today?
First, as the gentleman knows, that's a false statement. I do not know the identity of the whistleblower, and I'm determined to make sure that identity is protected. But as I said to Mr. Conaway, you'll have an opportunity after the witnesses testify to make a motion to subpoena any witness and compel a vote. I now recognize Ranking Member Nunes for any remarks he may wish to make.
Thanks, gentlemen. In a July open hearing of this committee following publication of the Mueller report, the Democrats engaged in a last-ditch effort to convince the American people that President Trump is a Russian agent. That hearing was the pivotal finale of a 3-year-long operation by the Democrats, the corrupt media, and partisan bureaucrats to overturn the results of the 2016 election. After the spectacular implosion of their Russia hoax on July 24th, in which they spent years denouncing any Republican who ever shook hands with a Russian, On July 25th, they turned on a dime and now claim the real malfeasance is Republicans' dealings with Ukraine. In the blink of an eye, we're asked to simply forget about Democrats on this committee, falsely claiming they had more than circumstantial evidence of collusion between President Trump and Russians. We should forget about them reading fabrications of Trump-Russia collusion from the Steele dossier into the congressional record. We should also forget about them trying to obtain nude pictures of Trump from Russian pranksters who pretended to be Ukrainian officials. We should forget about them leaking a false story to CNN while he was still testifying to our committee, claiming that Donald Trump Jr. was colluding with WikiLeaks. And forget about countless other deceptions, large and small, that make them the last people on earth with the credibility to hurl more preposterous accusations at their political opponents. And yet now, here we are. We're supposed to take these people at face value when they trot out a new batch of allegations. But anyone familiar with the Democrats' scorched earth war against President Trump would not be surprised to see all the typical signs that this is a carefully orchestrated media smear campaign. For example, after vowing publicly that impeachment requires bipartisan support, Democrats are pushing impeachment forward without the backing of a single Republican. The witnesses deemed suitable for television by the Democrats were put through a closed-door audition process in a cult-like atmosphere in the basement of the Capitol, where Democrats conducted secret depositions, released a flood of misleading and one-sided leaks, and later selectively released transcripts in a highly staged manner. Violating their own guidelines, Democrats repeatedly redacted from the transcripts the name of Alexander Chalupa, a contractor for the Democratic National Committee who worked with Ukrainian officials to collect dirt on the Trump campaign, which she provided to the DNC and the Hillary Clinton campaign. The Democrats rejected most of the Republicans' witness requests, resulting in a horrifically one-sided process where the crucial witnesses are denied a platform if their testimony does not support the Democrats' absurd accusations. Notably, they are trying to impeach the president for inquiring about Hunter Biden's activities. Yet they refuse our request to hear from Biden himself. The whistleblower was acknowledged to have a bias against President Trump, and his attorney touted a coup against the president and called for his impeachment just weeks after the election. At a prior hearing, Democrats on this committee read out a purely fictitious rendition of the president's phone call with President Zelensky. They clearly found the real conversation to be insufficient for their impeachment narrative, so they just made up a new one. And most egregiously, the staff of the Democrats on this committee had direct discussions with the whistleblower before his or her complaint was submitted to the Inspector General. Republicans can't get a full account of these contacts because Democrats broke their promise to have the whistleblower testify to this committee. Democrat members hid these contacts from Republicans and then lied about them to the American people on national television. I've noted before, the Democrats have a long habit of accusing Republicans of offenses they themselves are committing. Let's recall, for years they accused the Trump campaign of colluding with Russia when they themselves were colluding with Russia by funding and spreading the Steele dossier, which relied on Russian sources. And now they accuse President Trump of malfeasance in Ukraine when they themselves are culpable. The Democrats cooperated in Ukrainian election meddling, and they defend Hunter Biden's securing of a lavishly paid position with a corrupt Ukrainian company, all while his father served as vice president. Despite this hypocrisy, the Democrats are advancing their impeachment sham. But we should not hold any hearings at all until we get answers to three crucial questions the Democrats are determined to avoid asking. First, what is the full extent of the Democrats' prior coordination with the whistleblower? And who else did the whistleblower coordinate this effort with? Second, what is the full extent of Ukraine's election meddling against the Trump campaign? And third, why did Burisma hire Hunter Biden? And what did he do for them? And did his position affect any U.S. government actions under the Obama administration? These questions will remain outstanding because Republicans were denied the right to call witnesses that know these answers. What we will witness today is a televised theatrical performance
Not a good
staged by the Democrats. Ambassador Taylor and Mr. Kent, I'd like to welcome you here. I'd like to congratulate you for passing the Democrat Star Chamber auditions held for the last weeks in the basement of the Capitol. It seems you agreed, witting or unwittingly, to participate in a drama. But the main performance, the Russia hoax, has ended, and you've been cast in the low-rent Ukrainian sequel. I'll conclude by noting the immense damage the politicized bureaucracy has done to Americans' faith in government. Though executive branch employees are charged with implementing the policies set by our president, who is elected and responsible to the American people, elements of the civil service have decided that they, not the president, are really in charge. Thus, as we'll learn in these hearings, after expressing skepticism of foreign aid and concern about foreign corruption on the campaign trail, President Trump outraged the bureaucracy by acting skeptically about foreign aid and expressing concerns about foreign corruption. Officials' alarm at the president's actions was typically based on second-hand, third-hand, and even fourth-hand rumors and innuendo. They believed it was an outrage for the president to fire an ambassador, even though the president has full authority to retain or remove diplomats for any reason at any time. Officials showed the surprising lack of interest in the indications of Ukrainian election meddling that deeply concerned the president, at whose pleasure they serve. Despite all their dissatisfaction with President Trump's Ukraine policy, the president approved the supply of weapons to Ukraine, unlike the previous administration, which provided blankets as defense against invading Russians. By undermining the president, who they are supposed to be serving, the elements of the FBI, the Department of Justice, and now the State Department have lost the confidence of millions of Americans who believe that their vote should count for something. It will take years, if not decades, to restore faith in these institutions. This spectacle is doing great damage to our country. It's nothing more than an impeachment process in search of a crime. That I yield back.
Today we are joined by
With that, I yield to Mr. Jordan.
Thank the gentleman for yielding. Ambassador Taylor, thank you for being here. Aid's held up on July 18th, is that right?
That's when I first heard about it, Mr.
And then it's released, Ambassador Taylor, on September 11th. And we know that from your deposition, in those 55 days that aid is delayed, you met with President Zelensky 3 times. The first one was July 26th, the day after the famous call now between President Trump and President Zelensky. President Zelensky meets with you, Ambassador Volker, and Ambassador Sondland. And again, according to your deposition and your testimony, there was no linkage of security assistance dollars to investigating Burisma or the Bidens. Second meeting is August 27th. Again, in this 55-day time frame, second meeting is August 27th. President Zelensky meets with you and Ambassador Bolton and others. And again, there's no linkage of dollars, security assistance dollars, to an investigation of the Bidens. Then, of course, the third meeting is September 5th. President Zelensky meets with you and Senators Johnson and Murphy. And once again, there was no linkage of security assistance dollars to an investigation of Burisma or the Bidens. 3 meetings with the president of Ukraine, the new president, and no linkage. That's accurate?
Ms. Jordan, it's certainly accurate on the first two meetings, because to my knowledge, the Ukrainians were not aware of the hold on assistance until the 29th of August.
So the Politico article.
The Politico article. The third meeting that you mentioned with the Senators Murphy and Senator Johnson, there was discussion of the security assistance, but
no linkage.
But there was not discussion of linkage.
3 meetings face-to-face with President Zelensky, no linkage. Yet, in your deposition, you said this, and you said it again the first hour of the majority. My clear understanding was security assistance money would not come until President Zelensky committed to pursue the investigation. My clear understanding was they weren't going to get the money until President Zelensky committed to pursue the investigations. Now, with all due respect, Ambassador, your clear understanding was obviously wrong, because it didn't happen. President Zelensky didn't announce he was going to investigate Burisma or the Bidens. He didn't do a press conference and say, I'm going to investigate the Bidens, we're going to investigate Burisma. He didn't tweet about it, and you just told the ranking member he didn't do the CNN interview and announce he's going to investigate Burisma or the Bidens. So 3 face-to-face meetings, it doesn't come up, no linkage whatsoever. President Zelensky doesn't announce it before the aid is released on the 11th. And yet you said you have a clear understanding that those 2 things were going to happen. The money was going to get released, but not until there was an investigation, and that, in fact, didn't happen. So what I'm wondering is, where did you get this clear understanding?
As I testified, Ms. Jordan, this came from Ambassador Sondland.
Well, can you hold 1 second, Ambassador? I'm going to bring you a piece of paper from Ambassador Sondland's statement.
Very good.
And you can take a look at this. Go ahead, though. I want to let you finish.
So, Ms. Jordan, should I read this or?
No, I just want you to have it because I'm going to read it.
Oh, very good, very good.
Yeah, but I wanted you to go ahead and finish. You said, Ambassador, you got this from Ambassador Sondland.
That is correct.
I heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend that you're talking to a friend about a friend and you're gonna need impeaching.
Ambassador Sondland also said that he talked to President Zelensky and Mr. Yermak and had told them that although this was not a quid pro quo, if President Zelensky did not clear things up in public, we would be at a stalemate. That was one point. It was also the case.
Mr. Morrison talked to you, right?
No. What I was going to say is Ambassador Sondland also told me that he recognized that it was a mistake to have told the Ukrainians that only the meeting with the president in the Oval Office was held up on in order to get these investigations. No, it was not just the meeting; it was also the security system. That is, everything was. So those two discussions.
No, I understand.
Okay.
All right. So again, just to recap, you had 3 meetings with President Zelensky. No linkage in those 3 meetings came up. Ambassador Zelensky didn't announce that he was going to do any investigation of the Bidens or Burismas before the aid was released. He didn't do a tweet, didn't do anything on CNN, didn't do any of that. President Zelensky, excuse me.
Right.
And then what you have in front of you is an addendum that Mr. Sondland made to his testimony that we got a couple weeks ago. It says, Declaration of Ambassador Gordon Sondland. I, Gordon Sondland, do hereby swear and affirm as follows. I want you to look at point number 2, bullet point number 2, second sentence. Ambassador Taylor recalls that Mr. Morrison told Ambassador Taylor that I told Mr. Morrison that I conveyed this message to Mr. Yermak on September 1st, 2019 in connection with Vice President Pence's visit to Warsaw and a meeting with President Zelensky. Now, this is his clarification. Let me read it one more time. Ambassador Taylor recalls that Mr. Morrison told Ambassador Taylor that I told Mr. Morrison that I conveyed this message to Mr. Yermak on September 1st, 2019 in connection with Vice President Pence's visit to Warsaw and a meeting with President Zelensky. We got 6 people having 4 conversations in 1 sentence, and you just told me this is where you got your clear understanding. Which, I mean, even though you had 3 opportunities with President Zelensky for him to tell you, you know what, we're going to do these investigations to get the aid. Didn't tell you 3 different times. Never makes an announcement, never tweets about it, never does a CNN interview. Ambassador, you weren't on the call, were you? The president, you didn't listen on President Trump's call and President Zelensky's call?
I did not.
You've never talked with Chief of Staff Mulvaney?
I never did.
You never met the president?
That's correct.
You had 3 meetings again with Zelensky and it didn't come up.
And 2 of those they had never heard about, as far as I know.
And President
There was no reason for it to
President
come up.
Zelensky never made an announcement. This is what I can't believe, and you're their star witness. You're their first witness. You're the guy. Based on this, I mean, I've seen church prayer chains that are easier to understand than this. Ambassador Taylor recalls that Mr. Morrison told. Now again, this is I hereby swear and affirm from Gordon Sondland. Ambassador Taylor recalls that Mr. Morrison told Ambassador Taylor that I told Mr. Morrison that I conveyed this message to Mr. Yarmouk on September 1st, 20. This all happens, by the way. This all happens, by the way, in Warsaw, where Vice President Pence meets with President Zelensky. And guess what?
Taylor,
they didn't talk about any linkage either.
Time of the gentleman's expired. Ambassador Taylor, would you like to respond?
The only response, I have 2 responses, Mr. Chairman, thank you, and Mr. Jordan, glad to take those questions. Let me just say that I don't consider myself a star witness for anything.
They do. You don't.
No, I don't. I'm responding to your questions.
Please don't interrupt the witness.
As I think I was clear about, I'm not here to take one side or the other or to advocate any particular outcome. So let me just restate that. Second thing is that my understanding is only coming from people that I talk to.
We got that.
We got that. And I think this clarification from Ambassador Sondland was because he said he didn't remember this in his first deposition. So he wanted to kind of clarify. But I think, Mr. Jordan, the way I read this, he remembers it the same way I do.
Yeah, and it's real clear, right?
It's very clear to me.
Thank you, Ambassador Taylor. Mr. Himes, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Ambassador Taylor recalls that Mr. Morrison told Ambassador Taylor that I told Mr. Morrison that I conveyed this message to Mr. Yarmouk on September 1st, 2019 in connection with Vice President Pence's visit to Warsaw and a meeting with President Zelensky. Now, this is his clarification. Let me read it one more time. Ambassador Taylor recalls that Mr. Morrison told Ambassador Taylor that I told Mr. Morrison that I conveyed this message to Mr. Yarmouk on September 1st, 2019 in connection with Vice President Pence's visit to Warsaw and a meeting with President Zelensky. We got 6 people having 4 conversations in one sentence, and you just told me this is where you got your clear understanding. Based on this, I mean, I've seen church prayer chains that are easier to understand than this. Ambassador Taylor recalls that Mr. Morrison told Ambassador Taylor that I told Mr. Morrison that I conveyed this message to Mr. Yarmouk on September 1st, 2019 in connection with Vice President Pence's visit to Warsaw and a meeting with President Zelensky.
My best friend's sister's boyfriend's brother's girlfriend heard from this guy who knows this kid is going with the girl who saw Ferris pass out at 31 Flavors last night. I guess it's pretty serious.
Thank you both for being here. It's obvious from your testimony today that you both care a great deal about U.S.-Ukraine relations. It's also very clear that you're optimistic about President Zelensky. Ambassador Taylor, you related one of his first acts in office was to remove immunity from deputies, which had long been a source of corruption. I know you had a number of personal dealings with him. Has he given you any reason to question his honesty or his integrity?
No, sir.
In your prior deposition, I asked you, and I'll read it directly, if nobody in the Ukrainian government is aware of a military hold at the time of the Trump-Zelensky call, then as a matter of law and as a matter of fact, there can be no quid pro quo based on military aid. And to your knowledge, nobody in the Ukrainian government was aware of the hold. And your answer was that is correct. Is that still your testimony?
Mr. Ratcliffe, at some point in September.
I'm talking about on July 25th.
July 25th. Sorry. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. They did not know that.
All right. And as it turns out, President Zelensky agreed with you. On October 10th, President Zelensky held a press marathon with over 300 reporters. Where he said repeatedly and consistently over hours and hours that he was not aware of a military hold during the July 25th call. In fact, in his official press release from the Ukrainian government available on his website that I'll be introducing into the record, he said, "Our phone conversation bears no relations to arms. They blocked the provision of military assistance prior to our telephone conversation, But the issue had not been discussed during our conversation. I mean, I didn't even know. So now, in addition to confirming that because he had no knowledge of it, there was no quid pro quo involving military aid during that call, President Zelensky went on to confirm a number of things. That there was no pressure, that there were no conditions, that there were no threats on military aid. There were no conditions or pressure to investigate Burisma or the 2016 election, that there was no blackmail, that there was no corruption of any kind during the July 25th call. Again, from his official press release. Therefore, there was no blackmail because it was not the subject of our conversation with the President of the United States. There were no conditions on the investigation, either because of arms or the situation around Burisma Company. He told Reuters there was no blackmail. He told the LA Times there was no pressure or blackmail from the United States. He told Japan's Kyodo News, I was never pressured and there were no conditions being imposed. He told ABC News and the BBC, I'm against corruption. This is not corruption. It was just a call. The Ukrainian president stood in front of the world press and repeatedly, consistently, over and over again, interview after interview, said he had no knowledge of military aid being withheld, meaning no quid pro quo, no pressure, no demands, no threats, no blackmail, nothing corrupt. And unlike the first 45 minutes that we heard from the Democrats today, that's not secondhand information, it's not hearsay, it's not what someone overheard Ambassador Sondland say. That was his direct testimony. Ambassador Taylor, do you have any evidence to assert that President Zelensky was lying to the world press when he said those things? Yes or no?
Mr. Ratcliffe, if I can respond.
My time is short.
Your time
yes
is
or
short.
no?
That's right. I have no reason to doubt what the president said in his...
Okay, very good. So in this impeachment hearing today, where we impeach presidents for treason or bribery or other high crimes, where is the impeachable offense in that call? Are either of you here today to assert there was an impeachable offense in that call? Shout it out. Anyone?
Shout it out. Stand up.
Mr. Ratcliffe, if I can just respond, let me just reiterate.
Stand up and be counted.
I know you only got a minute left. I've just got 30 seconds.
Please allow the witness. You asked the witness a question. The witness
I'll withdraw the question. Let me just make this
I'm not here to take one side or the other. That's your
Ambassador,
decision.
let me answer this. Let me ask you this question.
The gentleman will suspend.
Spend the time.
Ambassador Taylor, would you like to answer the question?
Suspend the time, please. I withdrew the question.
The gentleman will suspend. We will suspend the clock.
Suspend the clock at 1 minute, please.
Ambassador Taylor, would you like to respond to the question?
Mr. Ratcliffe, I would just like to say that I'm not here to do anything having to do with to decide about impeachment. That is not what either of us are here to do.
No.
This is your job.
It's an impeachment hearing.
Restore time to the clock to 1 minute.
No, but you may continue 22 seconds.
Dipshift.
Fine. Mr. Ambassador,
Fine.
I think everyone knows that House Democrats have made up their mind to impeach one president. The question that we've just learned is whether or not they're prepared to impeach two. Because to be clear, if House Democrats impeach President Trump for a quid pro quo involving military aid, they have to call President Zelensky a liar. If they impeach him for abusing his power or pressuring or making threats or demands, they have to call President Zelensky a liar to do it. If they impeach President Trump for blackmail or extortion or making threats or demand, they have to call President Trump a liar to do it.
Perhaps you have not heard me when I have said this is something we're do with a heavy heart. This is very prayerful, because impeaching is a divisive thing in our country. It's hard.
Whether we will need to accept in this president or any future president the idea that the President of the United States can invite a foreign country to intervene in our affairs.
Like Obama did?
These are the decisions we will have to make when we have to decide whether this president should be impeached.
I'm the decider.
But I want to thank you again. Just conclude by saying,
I want to turn your volume
because
down
I can't
here.
let it go unanswered.
It's going to get loud.
Several of my colleagues made the statement repeatedly that I've met with the whistleblower, that I know who the whistleblower is. It was false the first time they said it. It was false the second through 40th time they said it. It will be false the last time they say it.
Hold on! I can't breathe! I can't breathe! Mr. Adam Schiff.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Looking forward to seeing it. I really am. I just think, sorry, Chuck. Sorry, Grandpa Chuck, Grandpa Grassley, but I think there's this sentiment out there in the administration that if we drop this motherfucker right on top of the hearings that are going on in the House, how's that going to look? And people want this so bad. They want us to fuck with the Democrat impeachment efforts, but you have to understand they're out there, you know, one leg tied to one arm behind their back. They're already doing the one-legged jig on national TV. Do you really need to just make it look like we're playing unfair as well? I mean, the whole point of this is to get Americans, regular, everyday Americans, to see how unfair this process is before it ever gets to a Senate where we can call the witnesses we want to call. So, you know, it's almost like everybody's a 16-year-old on homecoming night. They just want to get their 3 pumps and dump in there, and that's just bad politics. You know, a little foreplay isn't a bad thing.
Smooch Panda, and this is old Blue Eyes herself, Frank Sinatra. If you enjoyed the content, I appreciate you watching it. Hit that subscribe button if you want more of it. Go ahead and hit the bell if you want to know when it comes out. Appreciate you stopping in, and MAGA baby, Trump 2020. That's all that matters. What is up, fam? I'm back. What did you think of the video? I hope you liked it. Just a little something something. Took me way too long to put together that more technical minds could probably have done in about 5 minutes. So anyway, it's rough. And I'm rough. It's just the way it is. All right. Speaking of rough, the fly-by-the-seat type of show programming is going to continue. That was pretty much day one. Day one of the impeachment sham. It went so bad for them. But then today, Schiff had to try and shut down a woman. A woman. In this day and age, in this climate right now, Adam Schiff was intimidated enough by a strong woman that he had to shut her ass down. Would not allow other members, like the minority chair, Devin Nunes, to hand off time to her, which has always been the way you do shit. Nope. Not her. And there's a reason for it. Because, when I say a strong woman, I ain't lying. It's truth. It's truth. And I'm going to go ahead and find a little snippet here that was on Fox News earlier. Yeah, see? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, see? I'm going to find this little snippet, and we're going to size it for you so it don't look like shit, or Schiff, excuse me. We can't have my stuff looking like Schiff. That would suck. So, we'll just do it like that. Here we go. This was on Fox News, no shit. Swear to God. If it's on the internet, it must be true. What did Dildo Scammon once say? It doesn't matter if it's true, as long as it goes viral.
The Washington Post, September 29th. In an appearance on ABC News this week, Schiff echoed Pelosi's message. He also said he expected the Intelligence Committee to hear from the whistleblower very soon, pending a security clearance from Acting Director of National Intelligence Joseph McGuire. In the Huffington Post, Schiff told ABC's this week that he expects the whistleblower to appear before this committee very soon. In the New York Post, quote, "We'll get the unfiltered testimony of that whistleblower." In the Washington Times, quote, "That whistleblower will be allowed to come." These are all quotes from Chairman Adam Schiff. In Talking Points memo, the question was posed, actually this was by George Stephanopoulos, have you reached an agreement yet with the whistleblower and his or her attorneys about coming before the committee and providing the information firsthand? Quote, "Yes, we have," Schiff responded, "and as DNI McGuire promised during the hearing, that whistleblower will be allowed to come in without a minder from the Justice Department or from the White House to tell the whistleblower what they can and cannot say. We'll get the unfiltered testimony of that whistleblower." In Daily Kos, "We're ready to hear from the whistleblower as soon as that is done, and we'll keep obviously riding shotgun to make sure that the acting director doesn't delay in that clearance process." In CNBC, "We'll get the unfiltered testimony of that whistleblower." In Market Watch, House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff said Sunday that an agreement has been reached under which the whistleblower will testify before the committee very soon.
I got a blinking problem. I swear it never fucking stops. Adam Schiff, he's got a blinking problem. It's those damn bug eyes, man. My God. That's what I need to do. I'm going to go ahead and find a little bit of footage. I think we're just going to head over to Adam Gingrich. Or Adam Gingrich _PA. His Twitter feed is a phenomenal place. Just like TJ Magas. At TJ Maga1. If you haven't been there. But he honed in on, I think, a 30-second piece. And I know this is day one I'm going back to, but it's important that if Adam pointed it out, then it's a pretty important thing. Let's see. Well, let's see here. I got some chat going on back there. It's because I'm just backing stuff up instead of going right to the home thing here. My bad. Anyway, the sham continues. Yesterday I posed the question, or maybe the day before yesterday, how long is this sham going to go? Do we think it makes it into next week, the week after? My prediction, I don't think it's going to last through the end of next week. I don't think it makes it the whole week. It can't do it. Pelosi's going to pull this Schiff. There ain't no doubt. There ain't no doubt. Alright, let's see if we can find old Gingrich, and we'll bring this up. Before I get out of here, I do believe that there could possibly be a Rampage show tonight. I don't know. I haven't heard back. Probably not, but I'm going to go ahead and try and keep it short, not bore anybody. I hope you guys like the video. If you want to see that again, then you can head on over to my YouTube channel. YouTube. I think it's /C/SmoochPanda. Love to get that joint over to 1,000 subscribers. I've got over 1,000 on Periscope, but this fucking Periscope sucks. It sucks. There's just no way to say anything other than that. Speaking of that strong woman, we'll just put her right on the screen and get my ugly mug off of here. Boom, there she is. Gwen Stefani. No, I'm kidding. Stefanik. Representative Stefanik probably is the proper term, but let me tell you, she kicked some serious buttocks, man. She sure did. Roger Stone found guilty on all 7 charges. Holy cow. Should I be upset? No, because he'll get pardoned really quickly. So no gaslighting me. And I guarantee you, Adam's going to say something similar. If you guys don't know, the MAGA Coalition channel on YouTube, MAGA Coalition, Tuesday and Saturday nights, tomorrow night, 11 Eastern, Saturday Night Live. The only one that matters. The best political commentary with Adam Gingrich, New York City Guns, and occasionally the incomparable Ginger McQueen. Saturday's a little different from Tuesday, though, because Saturday there's imbibery going on and hopefully plenty of debauchery. And for all you teetotalers, you know, I respect what you do, but please respect what I do. I like to drink. But just a couple. God, just a couple. Jeez. You know nothing about this life? All right, the John Wick of Politics, Gingrich of PA. How do I not have notifications? These fuckers are always fucking with my shit, man. That pisses me off. Okay, I do digress. Wow, that's a pretty fitting tweet there. I know you guys can't see it all because it's not quite sized correctly. So we're going to size it. Let's see, as much as I can size it. There it is. Yeah, that's fitting, and that's the kind of tweets you get out of Adam. No bullshit. Right to the point. No gaslighting. No dumb shit. Because, Lord, we get enough of that. I don't know how far back I'm going to have to go. A real legal heavyweight? No, he's a fat-ass piece of shit. I said it. I said it. Happy birthday, Charles Payne. You are the man. Oh, it's okay if you're confused about why she's testifying at an impeachment inquiry, because she is too. Here comes the tears. Do-do-do-do. Here comes the tears. And I said, go fuck yourself, you stupid libs. I don't give a shit. We don't fall for that anymore. Oh, boy. Hey, there's one I know. Speak of the devil. And a legendary bullshit artist on that. Wow. Let's read that. I know Roger Stone. He's a bullshit artist and a legendary one at that. Emphasis on artist. These charges are an insult to a man who skated on far worse over the years. Trump owes him a full pardon. Come hell or high water in December 2020. There are no clean mud wrestlers. That, sir, is a fact. What's this great page, you ask? Well, that's at Gingrich _of_PA. All right, there was something in here I wanted to show you. I'm going to find it. I'm going to, but, you know, the man tweets a lot. You know what? I think it was on a reply. And that, therein lies my problem. I hope you don't have epilepsy, because I probably just sent you into one hell of a seizure. And my bad. My bad. And now, Roger Stone added to the list. Convicted or pleaded guilty. To what, you may ask? I don't know. They didn't put it there. Process crime, bitches. And the criminals, like that one, did get some criminality thrown on him. Boy, did he sing. All right. I might have missed it, guys. Maybe it's not there. I saw the genius in this tweet. And I actually think I might have even taped it. Huh. All right. And from the great TJ MAGA, I have to show you guys this, because the Commie Carnival is coming to a town near you. Let's see if we can get this nice and good. There we go. TJ's so awesome. Pelosi. If y'all don't know, you better ask somebody. Phenomenal work by that lady. Phenomenal work. Way to go. Good job. There we go. I found it, guys. Right here. Seriously, Castor pulled off a legit Perry Mason moment today. It's been largely overlooked, but its execution was flawless. Here it is, guys. This was what I wanted to show you, and this is what I'm going to end the show on, besides maybe a little music on the way out, in case there's others that need to go forth beyond me. And I'm sure there is. Who knows? Maybe a little Hannity from Obi. Who knows what's going to happen? Without further ado.
You were with President Zelensky the very next day?
We were. We had a meeting with him the very next day.
And did President Zelensky raise any concerns about his views of the call?
He said...
I'm live.
Ambassador Volker, Ambassador Sondland were...
To do what?
In his office.
To do what?
We asked him, I think, how...
Are you supposed to be going with him?
The call was fine. I was happy with the call.
You were with President Zelensky the very next day?
Okay.
We were. We had a meeting with
I'll
him
talk to my brother in a minute.
And did President Zelensky
cool, I'll be
raise
out in
any
about 10
concerns
minutes,
about
okay?
his views of the call?
He said, Ambassador Volker, Ambassador Sondland were in his office, and we asked him, I think, how the call, he said, call was fine. I was happy with the call.
You were with President Zelensky the very next day?
There it is. The next day. The call was fine. What else do they have, guys? They got shit. I'm going to put together a day 2 video because I know there was a lot that went on today. Not really, but it should be a decent one. We can make it fun. And tomorrow night, guys, the breakdown of this entire shammery will happen on the MAGA Coalition YouTube channel. Like I said, 11 Eastern. Wait a minute. Yeah, 11 Eastern. That's 9 my time, Mountain. I appreciate you guys coming in. And we'll get this off of here. I appreciate you guys. Oh, the screen sucks, man. I'll do that. Maybe that's a little better. Check out more Smooch Panda content because it will be coming as fast as I can get it out. I'm going to work on that video and try and get it out tomorrow, if not tonight, in preparation for Saturday Night Live. Once again, there are some key Twitter handles that you have to follow if you don't want to be gaslit, if you want to laugh your fucking ass off, and if you want to know how to just be good at activism and help on a local level. That last thing, that's at Big Fish 3000. If you want to laugh your ass off, you go to @TJMAGA1. And there are others. You follow her, people she follows, it'll just open up a whole new world to you. Of course, for non-gaslit, awesome political commentary with deep analysis and a lot of experience behind it, you got to go to the 2 guys right now that are busting this shit out. Adam Gingrich, Gingrich_of_PA. You find him at the MAGA Coalition channel. If you ever need to know where Adam's at, then you talk to the man, Glenn, New York City Guns. That's at New York City Guns. And of course, Peoples_Pundit, Richard Barris. Go on the MAGA Coalition channel. Look at what Adam and Richard's done together. Nobody puts together that kind of analysis. All right, fam. I love you all. Peace out. I'll see you soon. MAGA on. Remember, Trump 2020. That's the only thing that matters.